All right. Share my screen and boom. All right, present. Load it in there. There we go. All right, here we go. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Virtual College Exploration through the Ohio Association for College Admission Counselors. A couple housekeeping notes. You can use the Q&A button to type your questions to the presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off. The panelists can't see or hear you. And we also encourage you to sign up for more sessions. This is the one of many college presentations offered. Check out the schedule at www.oacac.org. All sessions will be recorded and will be available also at the same link at www.oacac.org. And now I'm going to pass it on to our presenters.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kristen Amendola. I am one of our admissions counselors at Gannon University, and I'm joined by my colleague, Dawn Kassler, even though her name is the same as mine under here. But yes, either of us are individuals that you can contact from Gannon. We're more than happy to answer your questions now, in the future, as you're doing your college search process. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here for you, and then we'll go ahead and get started. And thank you all for joining us tonight. It's exciting to tell you about Gannon, and just hopefully you learn more from tonight's session. So I always like to start with a brief background just about Gannon and who exactly we are. So we were founded back in 1925. We are a Catholic diocesan university. So with that being said, the Catholic history of Gannon is definitely a big part of who we are. We were actually named after the Bishop of Erie at the time. His name was John Gannon, so that's essentially where the name comes from, and also our Catholic identity as well. When thinking about the size of our university, we would definitely fall under that small to medium-sized range for schools, so a little over 4,000 students in total, with about 3,000 of those making up the undergraduate population and about 1,000 graduate students. So definitely that small to medium size. And then here we just have a ranking that we're very proud of, where Gannon was ranked number 218 among other national universities. And when thinking about the location of our school, I'm sure that is a big factor in your college decision process. So we're located in Erie, Pennsylvania. Erie really is a great town with a lot of growth and development that has happened, especially in past years. And Gannon's campus itself is actually located within downtown Erie, so a really wonderful college town. That overhead photo that you see there is downtown Erie, so Gannon's campus is essentially mixed in with all of those buildings there. But if you take a tour of campus and you walk around, you'll really get that campus feel. The buildings really are not too spread out from one another. The campus is pretty clumped together, which is good. So very easy to navigate. You definitely get that small city feel. And then the campus itself is very user-friendly as well. But you can walk a couple blocks. You've got the bayfront right there. So Lake Erie is right there in our backyard, very scenic view. We also have the beach there as well. That's about a 10-minute drive from campus. But the bayfront there that you see is about a 5-minute walk. So really cool to have that in our backyard. There's also some shopping nearby, restaurants, coffee shops, all different things like that to get you off campus and exploring, and some of that being within a walking distance. And then on the professional side of things as well, there are also a lot of great opportunities within Erie, especially downtown, but also outside of the downtown area as well, still within close proximity to campus. So for the science majors, they really do take advantage of Lake Erie, having that a couple blocks away, being able to utilize the lake for research opportunities, especially freshwater marine biology students. I know that they do a great amount of research within the lake, and just utilizing that resource that we have right there. If you're interested in health sciences, we have a lot of nearby hospitals to campus, specifically UPMC Hammett Medical Hospital, which is only about a 5-minute walk away from campus. So that is literally right there. If you're doing your clinical rotations or some type of job, it is so conveniently located. And the other ones listed as well, St. Vincent's, Shriners, the Veterans Hospital, are all within a quick driving distance also. We're also very nearby to a lot of different schools. If you were thinking maybe education, different engineering firms, small, large businesses, and all of this within close proximity. And then finally, under here, you'll see under the business tab that we have listed the ERIE Technology Incubator and the Small Business Development Center. Both of these are in conjunction with Gannon specifically, and the theme of both is to develop young entrepreneurs and have you working with people who actually started their own business to learn how to do so if that was something you were interested in the future. So overall, just a lot of wonderful resources both on and off campus to take advantage of. Alrighty, so now into the academic side of things. So you'll see here a lot of different degree types that we offer at Gannon, everything from 2-year associate's degrees to the typical 4-year bachelor degrees. We have 64 of those. We have different pre-professional programs, doctoral, master degrees, and then we have some specific cooperative professional school options as well with affiliate programs of Gannon, where you can spend a couple years at Gannon, a couple years at another school, whether that be med school, dental school, but kind of have that option ready for you as early on as your senior year through a direct entry application. So really cool to just kind of explore the different options and think about what you might want to go into specifically. So all exciting things there. And also on the academic side of things as well. So I mentioned earlier that Gannon is pretty small, medium sized when it comes to the overall student population. And then when it comes to the actual classroom setting, so actually physically being in the classroom, you're really going to get those small class sizes here as well, with an average class size of around 19 students. Even in the courses that everyone's taking, those general education courses, if you will, you're still going to have no more than 30 students max. So really nothing too crazy when it comes to the classroom setting. You get that really individualized approach. Your professors will know you by name. You'll really make some good connections within the classroom with your fellow classmates as well. And with that being said, we have a 13-to-1 student to faculty ratio. The faculty are wonderful with providing office hours where students can meet with them, ask questions, get any extra help that they need. So really great to utilize them as an important resource on campus. And then I mentioned the general education courses. So those ones that essentially everyone's going to be taking regardless of their specific major. So those are more liberal arts focused. So they fall under our liberal arts core. So this would mean that they're really courses intended to develop more well-rounded students. So you've got everything from theology, psychology to public speaking, writing composition, history, just all different ones like that that kind of mix really well together. And the goal is to develop more well-rounded students. So those courses can actually be taken at the honors level within our honors program at Gannon. The honors program does have a separate application from the standard Gannon application to actually apply to the school. You would apply separately to this program, but it really is beneficial. There are specific admissions criteria in place for the honors program, just looking at students with a certain GPA requirement. 3.6 is normally what they require. Looking at if you took AP or honors during high school, that type of thing. But really the advantage to being a member of the honors program is just the overall classroom setting and experience that you receive. So it's very discussion based, hardly any lecture. I don't believe there's a ton of exams either. They really do a lot of writing intense parts of the class. So if you enjoy writing, you enjoy speaking up in class, I would strongly recommend the honors program and all the benefits that go with it, from scholarships if you decide to study abroad, to resume builders, all of that good stuff. So that is essentially the academic portion of Gannon and just different things that you could be exploring. And then, like I mentioned, we do have learning abroad. So if you wanted to study abroad, you could do so for a semester, even a year-long opportunity, or a summer opportunity, which takes place right after finals week in May, typically about 10 to 14 days. So you can really decide, if you decide to go through with this, the length that you wanted to go for and where you would want to go as well. There's 10 partner universities that we have. So some affiliate programs that we've worked with in the past where our students go and work with that specific college in that given country. And they're also faculty led as well. So you're always going to be going over with different Gannon community members. Outside of just your classmates, you're also going to have faculty, staff, facilitators that are part of Gannon as well. And all of this is in conjunction with our travel program, which is an acronym standing for Transforming Residents Abroad via Engaged Learning. So I would definitely recommend that during your time at Gannon, and also service learning. So being in Catholic University, service is definitely a big part of who we are and just our overall mission. So through our Center for Social Concerns and Office of Campus Ministry, we're able to have different retreats and wonderful opportunities, even alternative break service trips, which are service trips that will go either domestically or abroad during your spring break. So you're not missing any class or anything like that, but you're really able to go over once again with your Gannon community and give back to a community somewhere else. So we really do strive to emphasize the importance of service at Gannon, not required by any means, but definitely a beneficial part of your experience if you decide to make that part of it. And now the admissions side of things. So there you'll see a lovely picture of our Gannon Golden Knight, the Gannon mascot. So for applying to Gannon, a couple different routes that you can go for this. So we have our standard Gannon online application. You simply go to gannon.edu. Under the admissions tab, one of the first things you'll see is apply to Gannon. So it's free, pretty easy, not too time consuming, just your typical application. So would definitely recommend either that or the Common App, which is our other application method. So the Common Application is wonderful if maybe you're looking at multiple schools. As long as they're all members of the Common App, you're really able to have one application on file, send it out to multiple schools. You can make changes and edits where needed, but really a good time saver there if you're looking at quite a few schools. So either method is great, neither one is preferred over the other. And for this one, test scores. I know this is a big one this year just with everything going on. So we are test optional for students entering in fall 2021. So if you're a current senior who would be entering into Gannon during the fall 2021 semester, looking to apply to Gannon, you will not be required to submit those test scores, and they will not impact your admission to Gannon or your merit-based scholarship, which we'll be getting into here in a second. So neither one of those would be impacted. The only thing that the scores can potentially impact would be your eligibility to compete for full tuition at Gannon. So let's say you apply to Gannon with a 4.0 GPA and a 1250, which translates to a 27 on the SAT or ACT, 1250 on the SAT. Either one of those tests is perfectly fine with those given scores. So if you had one of those scores in addition to a 4.0, I would definitely recommend at that point getting the test scores submitted, because you would then, if you're applying before December 15th, you would then be invited to compete for full tuition at Gannon, which would take place in the format of a competition, possibly virtually in the spring semester. So just something to keep in mind, but really that is the only way that the test scores are factored in. So no other impact that they will have this year. So really what we're going to be looking at in terms of the overall application is your transcripts. So the official transcripts that we get from your college, from your high school counselor. So we're going to be looking at that, GPA, grades in certain classes. So if you were looking to do something within health sciences, we're definitely going to review your science courses that you took during high school the most heavily, that type of thing. So that's kind of what it looks like in terms of the reviewing of the transcripts and overall application. And then we are also requiring letters of recommendation and essays on your application as well. So for the essay portion, it's more so a personal statement. So really nothing too lengthy. It's usually about a page, page and a half. We do give you a prompt for this as well. And this is really just a wonderful time to shine through more as the individual, more than just the grades or the test scores, just things that you're passionate about and helping us get to know you on more of a personal level. So overall, all of that makes up the overall application that you would be submitting to Gannon. So for admissions as well, we are on a rolling admissions basis. So essentially what this means is that there are no strict deadlines for when you need to apply to Gannon. You can really apply when you feel ready. We're gonna be reviewing those applications up until basically the start of classes next summer. So you really have some time if you were on the fence, maybe you had a change of heart at the last minute, you decide to apply to Gannon, you definitely have time to do that. You can do that when you feel called. The one caveat to that would be our 5-year physician assistant program. This is the exception to the rolling admissions rule. So this year, our 5-year physician assistant program does have a November 15th deadline because there are interviews in place as well, and students will find out before the holidays whether or not they received one of the 58 seats in this program. So this one definitely looks a little bit different in terms of the overall admissions process, just because it is more of an accelerated program. It has some different admissions components part of it. So that one looks a little bit different. And then the other programs that you see listed here, radiologic sciences, respiratory care, 5-year occupational therapy, and nursing. those 4 are actually a limited enrollment number that they all have. So with that being said, those are definitely programs that I would say, yes, they're rolling admissions for it. We're going to continue reviewing your application, even if it's later on in the year, but it's definitely to your advantage to apply sooner rather than later so that you can lock in your spot. You don't have to be placed on the wait list if it goes up over that maximum capacity. So definitely an advantage to applying sooner rather than later with those specific programs. And then we are also going to accept AP credits and dual enrollment. Those will transfer over to Gannon as long as on the AP score you received a 3 or higher, and then a 4 or 5 for math or science on the AP exams. And then for dual enrollment, also called College Credit Plus, we are also going to allow these to transfer. There is a way to just look at different course equivalents, see if there's a course offered at Gannon that you already took at the college level that you would be exempt from taking at Gannon. So just different things like that where those credits will transfer and might even have you not having to take specific classes at Gannon. So definitely some benefits that can come from this. And then finally, we have our enrollment deposit. So this is a deposit that you'll pay to Gannon to essentially lock in your spot. It would lock in your spot to your program. You would get a Gannon account created where you can then start things such as housing, roommate searching, picking your meal plans, different things like that when our housing application opens up, which is usually later on into the spring, usually March or so. So definitely this is a great next step to take if you've applied, you've been accepted, and you really just want to give Gannon that firm yes that you're pretty set on attending. So it is refundable until May 1st as well. So if you did pay that money before May and then you changed your mind before May 1st, you will receive that money back because we completely understand that it's okay to change your mind, that happens, but definitely to your advantage to pay that if you're pretty set and you want to get your spot locked in and really just start taking that next step. Alrighty, so financial aid, definitely a big one when thinking about costs and just scholarships, awards, different things that can reduce the overall cost. That's definitely important. So first and foremost, we have what's known as our merit-based scholarship. So this is offered at the time of acceptance. So you apply to Gannon, you find out that you get accepted, you receive your official acceptance letter in the mail. Within that letter, we're going to highlight to you how much you received in merit-based scholarship, which could be anywhere between $15,000 and $22,000. So basically what this looks like is that it's based off of solely GPA. So test scores will not be factored into this. They would not impact it. So the higher the GPA, the higher this amount is going to be. And this is an annual award as well. So let's say you received $18,000. You're going to be receiving that every year for up to 5 undergraduate years at Gannon. So all of those years you can know, okay, at least my $18,000 is going to be taken off of my overall tuition. So that's just the starting point for scholarships, because on top of this, we are going to stack scholarships as well. So really, the more that you can get, the better. Just keep adding those up and they will make a difference. So other Gannon scholarships from us are our open house competition scholarships. So for this year, this is going to be virtual for the open houses, and these competitions are also going to be specific to the program that you're interested in. So we do have different dates that are starting to get planned. So for example, we have our business open house competition that will be taking place on November 7th. So if you were interested in business, you can go onto our website right now under admissions and events, and you would find that November 7th open house competition. So it's usually in the format of an exam, that type of thing. So that is going to be the basis of this overall competition. So we also have our engineering one scheduled as well for November 14th. And then we're going to continue adding other academic competitions as well. So just be on the lookout on our website, because for this, you could receive anywhere from $500 to $3,000 based off of how well you do. So definitely something to consider, and another great scholarship to seek out. That is an annual award as well. And then we also have our Schuster Memorial Music Scholarship and Patron of the Arts Awards. So both of these are obviously based on music and arts, which might be passions of yours. So with that being said, if those are something that you're passionate about, you could receive scholarship with those. So normally we have students that send in portfolios or audition tapes, that type of thing. And as long as you're doing that before March, you would be eligible to be reviewed for these scholarships. We also have athletic scholarship as well, so that would be another one. And then I mentioned earlier the full tuition scholarship competition, in which you would have to apply before December 15th. have a 4.0 GPA, and then have an SAT score of a 1250 or an ACT score of a 27. So you've met all of those requirements and applied before the 15th of December. We would then tell you that you were invited to compete for tuition in the spring. So this is usually a competition that this year it'll probably be virtual, but normally it would be in person. It's a really creative competition. You would present to a panel of Gannon panelists and Gannon community members and really just exemplify something that you're passionate about. You could play an instrument, all different areas that you can go with this. So definitely something to consider if you wanted to compete for full tuition. And then finally, outside third-party scholarships as well. So any ones that you're going to be receiving, we're going to accept those for you and stack on top of all the other Gannon scholarships you might be receiving. So Raise Me, for example, that's definitely a great website to utilize to seek out different scholarships. Alrighty, so I'm sure that was all maybe new information, maybe some stuff that you've heard in the past, but hopefully that was a good introduction to Gannon on the admission side of things, on the academic side of things, just overall who we are. But I always like to also give a little perspective into student life and just thinking about a place where you can see yourself making good connections, thriving, and just enjoying yourself. So we have a nice snowy day here in Erie in this lovely picture. So we're pretty used to the lake effect snow. Obviously here our students are making the most of it, which we love to see. So when thinking about the student life side of it, I'm sure one of the first things that comes to mind is living on campus. What might that look like? So first and foremost, we do guarantee housing for all 4 years. So plenty of dorms available besides the 2 that you see here for all of your years at Gannon. We only require that you live on campus for the first 2 years. So after that, we typically see about 50-50 of students who either decide to continue living in the dorms or decide to move off campus, rent out an apartment with friends, that type of thing. So for your first year, at least, you would have 2 different options available to you in terms of residence halls. So either North Hall or Finnegan Hall, both of which are very central to everything on campus. You're really in the heart of campus. You're in close proximity to your academic buildings, the Recreation and Wellness Center, the Student Center. Everything is really within close proximity to these different residence halls. So North Hall is more of a suite style living arrangement. With that being said, you would typically have about 4 to 5 roommates with you. You might have a common area, shared restroom, that type of setup. So not your typical freshman dorm. It is really, really nice. And then Finnegan Hall, also very nice, just more traditional, where you would have 1 roommate with you, communal restrooms down the hall, a lounge area between the entire floor. That would be the type of setup that you could imagine there. So either one is a really great living arrangement for that first time away from home, most likely. They really have different amenities that feel comfortable and feel like home, ping pong tables, laundry, just all different things that you would need to make this living space very comfortable. And then another great building that we offer on campus. So if you didn't necessarily want to study within your dorm, keep the roommate up, anything like that, you could always go to the library. They have a large amount of hours throughout the day. I know they're open very early in the morning on weekdays and stay open until 2 a.m. So if you're a late night studier, you could always go here. There's really just a lot of great study spaces available. There's 3 different floors. That top floor is a designated silent floor. So if you're someone who studies best without any distractions or noise, you could definitely go up there. And then the other floors are more suited for group collaboration. You can work on a group project or study with friends. There's computer labs, you can rent out equipment, books, all of the stuff that you would need to just make your study experience more beneficial. And this was a newly renovated building that was completed back in 2017. So as you can see from the outside, it really does have that sleek, modern look. And the same goes for the inside as well. So definitely a great place to go to get some work and studying done. And then also just on the student life side of things, thinking about different places on campus to hang out outside of just your dorm or your academic classrooms. There's a lot more to do and more places to go as well. So first would be the Waldron Campus Center. So within here, we have Docks Landing and Knights Cove, which are 2 grab and go options for food. They offer different made to order, quick and easy foods for you to take with you on the road or on your way to class, or you can sit there and enjoy the meal with friends. And then we also have our main cafeteria as well, the Buyer Cafeteria. So within here, you can swipe in, basically get all you can eat. So you can hang out with friends, study and eat, do whatever you please. And within here as well, we also have a power room, which is a late night study area. So overall, the Waldron Campus Center is great for just hanging out with friends, grabbing a bite to eat, doing some studying, and just spending time with your fellow classmates. And then we also have what's known as the nightclub. So kind of a play on words here because the Gannon Golden Knight is our mascot. And this specific part of campus is open pretty late into the evening hours. So the nightclub just seems fitting for the name. So within here, they offer lunch, dinner, and then late night snacks as well. They host all different student events. So I definitely wouldn't recommend this for studying or anything just because it is more of a lively environment, but a really fun one. So a great substance-free environment to go with your friends, grab a bite to eat, play some pool, listen to some music, that type of thing. Just a really fun place to hopefully relieve some stress. And also just thinking about things you might want to get involved with. So at Gannon, we offer over 100 different clubs and organizations. So a lot of different options for you, a wide array of different clubs and organizations that you could decide to get involved with. So we have Greek life on campus, so sororities and fraternities. We have different service organizations. Obviously, like I said, being a Catholic university, service is definitely a huge part of who we are. So we definitely make an effort to incorporate this into student life. We also have Student Government Association, which is great for those students interested in leadership and just leading their class and their school as a whole. If you're interested in event planning, we also have the Activities Programming Board. They do such a cool job of planning both on and off campus events, really getting students engaged, and just a lot of fun things that go on, everything from concerts to just all different things. They're very creative, which is cool. We also have Commuter Life for those students who live within the 25-mile radius of campus within the ERIE area typically. So just a great way to get them building a sense of community, coming to campus more and meeting more of our student life. And then we also have some organizations that are more academic based as well. So this is just a short list here. There's so many other ways to get involved in terms of clubs and organizations, some that are more hobby based, just all of that good stuff. So the opportunities are endless here. And then wellness, this is definitely a big theme on the Gannon campus within the Gannon community, something that they really do a wonderful job of promoting and just emphasizing the importance of. So first would be going off of that theme of wellness would be athletics. So obviously physical wellness would fall under this category. So we do have varsity sports at Gannon. We have 22 different ones to choose from, and we are Division II. There is a recruitment process in place where you can reach out to the coach, kind of initiate that conversation, find out about the athletic scholarships. They would most likely have you come to campus, practice with the team, just kind of get to know you better. So really exciting to think about that if you were considering playing a varsity sport once college rolls around. But then we also do have club and intramural sports, both of which are still that competitive edge that you get with the varsity sports, but a little less of a time commitment, I guess you could say. But all three options are great ways to get involved and promote physical wellness. And then finally, on the wellness side of things as well is our Recreation and Wellness Center. So this is Gannon's main fitness facility. Every year we do have an annual wellness fair that takes place within this facility. It's very big, so it can accommodate a lot of people. And the wellness fair is just a great way to promote healthy living. They have a lot of healthy foods and different things like that at the fair as well. So a very fun annual event. And this is also one of our newer buildings on campus that was modernized back in 2014. So very updated. You've got the updated machines, everything from cardio machines to weight machines. Within here, we also have a swimming pool, a group fitness studio for group classes such as Zumba and yoga. And then in the back here, you'll see also the indoor field house. So this is where a lot of our student athletes will practice with their team. Sometimes we'll have different tournaments here, all different things like that. So definitely a really cool facility that gets utilized in all different ways to promote physical wellness. Alrighty, so that is everything that I have. So we are going to start the question portion of it and see what the questions that everyone had were. So I'm also going to have my contact info up here as well if anyone wants to take a picture or copy that, so you can reach out to me in the future. I'm happy to answer any of the questions that might come up as you're doing your college search. So I'll leave that up here for a second, and then we'll continue with some questions that we received. All right, so let's see. All right, so one question we received was, is the campus size large? Very good question. So overall, not too big. Like I said, we're downtown, but sometimes when you think, okay, a downtown campus, you might imagine buildings spread all over the place, all over the downtown location, but really the Gannon campus is pretty clumped together and you really get that campus feel. So to get from one end of campus to the very other end, it only takes about 10 minutes or so. So definitely a very walkable campus. You wouldn't have to take shuttles to class or anything like that. It is very walkable and easy to get from point A to point B. And yeah, just convenient with that downtown location, but still getting that campus feeling as well. And also going off of that, so I mentioned you wouldn't have to take necessarily a shuttle to class, but we do have a shuttle that runs at night, which is called the Night Watch. So this is a way to get transported from, let's say, one end of campus, you're in the library, you want to go back to your dorm, but maybe it's late at night, you don't feel comfortable walking, you want them to come and pick you up, they would be happy to do so. This is in conjunction with our campus police and safety. So they're the ones that would come and get you in this Night Watch shuttle. So just something that promotes safety on campus and also just convenient to get you from point A to point B in those late night hours. Like I said, that library is open until like 2 a.m. So you're studying late. Okay, so someone asked, will my advisor be someone within my academic? So yes. So let's say you apply to the nursing program, for example. Your specific advisor that you would work with from day one at your orientation would be the same advisor throughout all of your time at Gannon. They're specifically within the nursing program, a faculty member typically. So they're someone that knows the program really well and are just going to be helpful for you when you're scheduling classes, keeping you on track, and just making sure everything is running smoothly. So yes, you're going to work with that same advisor. Unless you switch a major or something, then you would be placed with an advisor in your new academic program. But yes, it's always going to be someone in your academic program that you're thinking about. Good question. Okay. Then I see one more. Let's get that last one. This one says, is there an interview component required to get into Gannon? So I could see where this would be a natural thought to think of, because I mentioned that 5-year physician assistant program, which did have an interview coming up here in the next couple weeks. So the short answer of this is no. The majority of programs at Gannon do not require an interview for admission. Really what we're going to be doing is just reviewing that application. So looking at the transcripts, letters of recommendation, the personal statement, everything within that application is what we're going to be reviewing. So yeah, no interview component for the majority of the programs except that 5-year physician assistant program. Good question. And with the application too. So normally it only takes about 3 to 4 weeks for you to find out after you've applied. You're waiting to hear back. We're going to get back to you in usually under a month. So you'll find out fairly quickly. All right. And that was all that we had. Any other questions from anyone? Any last minute ones?
Go once, going twice.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Let me pull up my screen again and present. There we go. All right, so thank you everybody for joining us. After this will close, you'll get a very quick 4-question survey. If you are interested in seeing some more sessions, please check out the schedule at www.oacac.org. This recording will also be available. All sessions are being recorded and will be available at the same website, www.oacac.org. So thank you everybody for taking time to come hear about Gannon, and I hope you all have a wonderful evening.
Thank you.
Yep.
Have a good one, everybody.